Yo, what's up guys? In this video, we are going to answer the question, should Eugenia Cooney have her YouTube channel canceled? Um, I just can't stop making videos about Eugenia Cooney. I can't stop myself. She's like the new Stephanie Buttermore for me. So here we are. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's a streamer who is very thin, very petite, very thin, dangerously thin, was, I want to say, committed to rehab last year for her eating disorder. Seemed to have gotten a little bit better, but lately, like over Halloween, well, leading up to Halloween, she posted some pictures of her looking dangerously skinny. And I made a video about her last year when she got committed to rehab because somebody asked me to do it. And then this year, I randomly, I saw on 4chan somebody posted a picture of her in her Halloween costume. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember this chick. And then I checked her out. I saw her costume, made a video about that. Then made another video about it because that one got a pretty good response. Made another video about it, like recommending to her what I would have her do if she was if she was somehow like under my care. I know that's terrifying for some of you anorexic girls out there to think about, that I could possibly be responsible for everybody's favorite fucking anorexic celebrity. But I happen to think that I know quite a bit about this, and I know what I'm doing, and I know how to achieve a high level of health regardless of what your current situation is. So that said, the reason I'm making this video is because after stalking Eugenia a little bit on Instagram and reading the comments of some of her most recent photos, and also seeing some of the comments on my videos, there were a couple people who kept saying, like, we need to cancel her channel, she needs to take down her channel, YouTube needs to shut her down. And even on her Instagram page, people were posting links, or maybe it was on my video, people were posting links to a change.org petition. Let me actually Google this really quickly before we get into this. Cancel Eugenia Cooney's YouTube channel, change.org. Is this actually temporary? Oh, it's temporarily. Huh. So are there a couple of these, or? All right, so it's a temporary ban, I guess. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, wow. 2 years ago? 4 years ago? Yikes, bro. Yikes. Yikes. Blah, blah, blah. All right, so these are actually 2 years old. But anyway, I guess people are still talking about this, so now we're going to make this video on it. I'm going to give you my opinion, and this is coming from somebody who also, I'm not going to defend her and say, like, her body, her choice, and all that stuff. Like, we'll just take a look at the arguments for either side, okay? So up here, we have the argument for yes. Okay, should she have her channel canceled or temporarily banned? The first one is that she shows a bad example to young girls. Now, many people have commented before on other videos where they're like, well, actually, guys can have an eating disorder too. Guys can be anorexic. Okay, fine, but most of them are girls. Like, let's be honest. Like, most guys do not have anorexia, or most people with anorexia are not guys. Let's put it that way. So, like, yeah, like the one guy that you know who's anorexic, fine. It's the exception that proves the rule, which is that it's a fucking female problem, all right? Like, deal with it. And Eugenia is a fucking girl, okay? So obviously a guy is not going to look at her and be like, oh my God, that's such a beautiful female body. I wish I could do that. No, it's not. It's girls who are going to idolize other girls in all likelihood. I don't think I need to like justify that as an argument, but anyway, here I am. So it shows a bad example to young girls. Like, she's very pretty. She's got good, she's charming. She's very personable, I guess. People will look at that and arguably try to emulate her behavior and what she's doing. And you could say that people will try to, intentionally malnourish themselves to be as much like Eugenia as possible. Which sounds kind of retarded, but there's some retarded people out there, so maybe they'll do it, right? And then the next one is that I don't know. It seems like she's either in denial or lying about having a problem. So, like, is this grounds for canceling your channel straight out? Like, no, I don't think so. But it definitely raises some concerns. It's like, well, it would be one thing if you admitted that you have a stomach issue or you're allergic to fucking gluten or true food is traumatizing, or like just address it like in some way, you know what I mean? But I think the real issue, the reason people are upset is because she's in complete denial about it, or is not even giving a little bit of ground in terms of admitting that like it's negatively affecting her health in any way. When in reality, like, do I need to bring up her Instagram again? Like, the chick is not looking particularly healthy. I don't know the specifics on anorexia in terms of like how long an individual can survive at such a low weight. She is pretty young, so I'm assuming she's got a couple of years left in her. I don't actually know, but it's possible, I guess. And then the next one, I guess her health is obviously in danger, right? So like, I know this isn't YouTube's responsibility to make sure that the health of their creators is, optimal. That is not their, like, as a corporation, they do not have that responsibility to the people who create content on their platform. Even the, famous ones who have a large following and like the ones that everybody knows that constitute a major chunk of the viewership, or, a lot of the viewers watch their channel. They don't have a responsibility to them. You could make the art, like, here's what it comes down to in YouTube's thought, right? In their like thinking process, they're thinking to themselves, okay, what are the pros and cons? Well, if we cancel her channel, then we're going to lose all of the money that her channel generates in form of ad revenue. And we're going to set a precedent of canceling channels that have anything to do with any sort of like, less than ideal nutritional choices. So they don't want to do it, right? And if they do cancel, or if they don't cancel her, then the risk is that some young girl is going to fucking starve herself to death, and then somebody will sue YouTube or something. I don't know. It just sounds kind of unlikely for me. Like, if I'm a lawyer, which I'm not, I would say, you're probably all right, YouTube. The next one is that you could make the argument she's indirectly glamorizing eating disorders, right? So if you are a famous person, then, and people admire you for whatever reason, you do have the halo effect on you. People are going to look at you and think good things about you just because you are good looking or famous or rich. And people will kind of lump in your idiosyncrasies into that halo effect as well. So in other words, like, if you are famous for, whatever, Eugenia Cooney likes bananas, well, bad example. Eugenia Cooney likes Final Fantasy VII, right? So that means other people, they might, develop a new appreciation for Final Fantasy VII as well, because Eugenia Cooney likes it and they like her, right? So there's kind of this transference of preferences from celebrity to fan, you could say. And even if, she's not admitting that she has a problem, I guess the entire concept could be transferred over. Like, I guess in this case, some young girls could like starve themselves and then just lie about starving themselves. Why? Because that's what Eugenia Cooney does. And again, like I said, to my, old man brain, this sounds pretty fucking retarded, but nobody ever accused like 8-year-old American girls of being intelligent. That's not, or 13 or fucking whatever. They're not, like, no offense, 13-year-old people in general are not known for like making the best decisions for themselves. So, I guess that could be potentially dangerous to society as a whole, if not acutely dangerous to any one individual. The next one is that she refuses to accept social responsibility of being a celebrity. When this whole idea, and I see this echoed a lot on her Instagram, when I did the research, you saw a lot of people saying like, I can't follow you anymore. So many girls look up to you. So many people like you. And here you are setting this bad example, posting pictures of yourself like this. It's not healthy. And even on her own videos, they're like, I can't do this anymore. I can't follow her anymore. She's a bad person. She's got a subreddit also. People say the same thing on her subreddit. They're like, I can't believe she's doing this. I used to feel bad for her. Now I just feel like she's being manipulative. She's just doing it for attention. So, you know, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I have kind of said similar things about girls, like I call them eating disorder celebrities. I have said that about them in the past, which is that they just kind of like intentionally do this to themselves for the attention. And even though they might be in pain, right? It might be, they might experience pain from these unhealthy habits. They are like, to deny that they're not getting anything out of it is irresponsible, I would say, and you're kind of giving them too much credit. Nothing is 100% bad or 100% good. There's advantages and disadvantages to everything. Okay, so and then the last one, I guess she's promoting unhealthy behavior, but kind of touched on that in other ones. So those are the arguments for yes of should she have her channel canceled or temporarily banned or whatever. So for no, right? Number one, it's none of your fucking business. All right, none of your fucking business what this girl does with her health. It's just not. She's not a health and fitness blogger. She's not saying like, hey guys, I weigh 42 pounds. I'm so happy about my weight. This is so great. You guys should definitely try it. You know, buy my appetite suppressant, link in the description. That's not what she's saying. She's a fucking streamer. She's doing makeup videos. She's doing, you know, whatever, what she's talking about on her channel. I don't even know, like her Halloween costume. She's talking about all this other shit. And it's none of your fucking business what she eats. If she doesn't want to talk about it, you know, you could say she has responsibility as a celebrity, but if that's what she wants to fucking eat or not eat, then that is her choice. And this is the fucking United States of America, and you're allowed to fucking make whatever videos you want as long as you're not directly hurting anybody. That's how it works. And which brings me to my next point, which is freedom of speech. And this is not really just freedom of speech, but this is freedom of expression. And once you start to limit freedom of expression, it becomes a very slippery slope. Like we could say this, would you want us to say, you can pick any behavior and you could say, oh, that's a bad behavior. We can't let you have a voice in society because they're potentially, you know, you could negatively influence somebody else's life. Like, are you fat? Well, guess what? You just lost the right to vote and the right to fucking, you know, free speech, because guess what? You're 30 pounds overweight. That's very detrimental. What if somebody sees that you're a fat piece of shit and, you know, that influences their behavior and then they get fat and they die? You know, they get a heart attack. Well, no, that's not my fault. Well, actually, maybe it is. Maybe it is, you know. Anyway, the point is that she has freedom of speech, just like we all do. And YouTube already is like kind of walking on thin ice with the whole censorship thing. Don't even get me started on the fucking COVID election. Like, YouTube's obviously biased in certain directions, regardless of, you know, likelihood of lawsuits being, you know, filed on them. But once you start going down the slippery slope of canceling people because you don't like them or you don't like something that they're doing, like you can easily make the argument that you should cancel all of the YouTubers who are gay. You can easily make that argument. You could, sure. You can make the argument that being gay is detrimental to the fabric of society, that it's bad, that being gay is like, you know, causes mental illness, or because, you know, gay people have a higher suicide rate. And if younger people see a gay YouTuber, it'll make them more open to the idea of being gay. And I'm just kind of like going down this logical train. I don't actually think these things. I'm just explaining this as like a thought experiment. But you could make that argument. Do you understand? You can make that argument for pretty much any political view, any economic view, any personal belief that you have. And while this is, you know, not a healthy behavior that she's engaging in, I don't think that it is, you know, that is not enough to be like, oh, well, we're canceling your channel. Next one, cancel culture is toxic. Like all of these people who are saying, oh, we need to cancel this person, we need to cancel that person. Like you need to fucking grow the fuck up and stop being a little bitch, which is this other point right here. Like, I'll just talk about this next point, right? You need to, you can't shelter people from potentially harmful stimuli. You can't take somebody and say, oh, we never want to expose you to anything potentially dangerous, because that doesn't work. Number one, you can never protect somebody from everything. What you should do is encourage their strength of character so that when those temptations inevitably are presented to them, they can resist the temptations. That's what you need to. That's what you need to do. You don't cancel people because they said some fucking racist shit 10 years ago, or you don't like how they eat, or because of their political beliefs are different than yours. That again comes back to this whole idea of freedom of speech. And in the United States, I think this is something that is increasingly becoming a problem with social media kind of making it very easy for crybaby little bitches to go on the internet and exaggerate their grievances and just kind of like hog the spotlight when they've done nothing to deserve it and try and cancel other people's careers. I think it's a complete mistake, and it's the people who do that should be ashamed of themselves. If that's you and you're trying to get people canceled, like, why are you such a fucking loser? Like, why? And do you know how many and speaking of which, I wasn't even talking about myself just now, but do you know how many people have left comments on my videos and they're like, oh, let's get this channel taken down. Everybody like this comment if you want this, take this guy's channel down. What a bunch of fucking losers. I'm sorry. If any of you are watching this, you need to fucking rethink life, like straight up. Like, you want to cancel somebody's channel or destroy all of their hard work because they hold an opinion that is different from yours. Wow, that's great. I already know what type of person you are. I already know what you've achieved in life. Azito, as our favorite Greg Doucette would say. Okay, next one. And I guess the last one. And this whole idea of outrage porn, right? Or I just call it outrage porn. But you see this commonly on Twitter, the fucking most toxic social media website, possibly website, period, on the planet, where people are, and I find myself doing this also. Like, I'll see something, and I never go on Twitter pretty much for this exact reason, where I see something there, and I'm just like, I'm so angry that I like argue the opposite viewpoint and just fucking leave like a couple angry tweets and then don't open Twitter for a year. But people who have less discipline or enjoy participating in outrage porn, they do this shit all the time, and it's out of control. It is out of fucking control. It's great publicity, I guess. And if you haven't really done anything bad, like if you're a scumbag like Harvey Weinstein and you actually, were a fucking scumbag and you have something coming to you, then okay, sure. If you're out of line and you need to get cut down a little bit to bring you back down to earth, okay, that's fine. I think social media is fine for that. But taken to the extreme like it is now, where everybody wants to fucking cancel everything that they don't agree with, like, grow the fuck up, people. Give me a break. Like, I already know, like, what your hair, you have green hair and like a fucking septum piercing. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should. What island can we ship you to where you can all fucking battle to the death in like Hunger Games style? We'll call it Cancel Island. Okay, so that is my opinion on this. So final answer, do I think Eugenia Cooney should have her YouTube channel canceled? No, absolutely not. Definitely not. No, are you fucking kidding me? No. She should be able to, like, I don't agree with her nutritional choices or lack thereof and her apparent disregard for her own personal health and well-being. But I would never say that she should have her fucking 7-year YouTube channel canceled. No, never in a million years. Like, no, just no. I can't even think of any circumstance where that would be the case. And again, unless I said she's like encouraging people directly to starve themselves into an early grave, which that would obviously never happen. So no, she should not have her YouTube channel canceled. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. Similarly to how we can make videos about her and say whatever we think about what she's doing. Right? That's how it works. You don't get both. I mean, you don't get to pick and choose. It's either we can do that or we can't do it. Either people can say whatever they want on the internet and we can say whatever we want about what they say, or nobody can say anything, and that's it. Because once you start to mute somebody, then the grounds on which you made the decision to mute them can be, the argument can be kind of like mutated to fit any other position that you don't agree with, which again, like I said, is a slippery slope. And fortunately, YouTube has only done that seemingly with like things like the coronavirus and the election, 2020, hopefully they won't do it anymore. Otherwise, you know, we all might have to start looking for a new fucking video sharing platform. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so that's what I think about that. Let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment. Also, I have a new fitness course coming out. It is pretty much a complete program. It's got fasting, nutrition, weight loss, exercise principles, over 20 workout or sample workouts that I demonstrate for you, over 20 exercise tutorials that I demonstrate for you, workout plans, action plans. It is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And it's coming out in less than 3 weeks. So if you guys are interested in getting notified on when that comes out and you want to be part of the pre-sale, it's going to be heavily discounted when it comes out. Go to theminfit.com. THEMINFIT stands for the Minimalist Guide to Fitness. Go to theminfit.com, sign up for the free webinar or whatever's over there, and I will send you an update when it is ready. Cool. Otherwise, if you have any comments about this, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.